Hi, my name is Brian Lucky, graduate assistant here at the Nevada State 4-H office, and I'm here to walk you through the Nevada 4-H Survey 2018, preparing survey data for analysis. So I've put together a quick slideshow, and we'll just kind of walk you through everything I've got. First thing you need to know is this presentation is for pencil and paper survey collection only. So if you've gone on and you've photocopied surveys, you're giving them to your kids to collect the data that way, then you need to get it into some kind of a readable format. And there's two ways to do that. We'll go through that in a minute. So I'm going to walk you through getting pencil and paper responses into the proper format. If you distributed the Nevada 4-H survey to your populations through the Qualtrics link using the iPads or letting them do it through the phones, then you don't need to do anything. I'll get that data and it'll be just perfect for us. I want to note there are two ways to enter pencil and paper data into Qualtrics. You can simply use the link yourself, just go in there and just take the survey again and again and again for however many surveys you have. Or you can create an Excel file with data and I will upload it into Qualtrics for you. Either way gets us to the same place. There's pros and cons of both and we'll go through those right now. So either way, what you'll need is you'll need all the pencil and paper surveys you have collected. I would recommend getting them all in a pile, all in one place, and then starting to put them in, because if you do it a little at a time, we all get busy and things get misplaced. So it's just easier to keep it all in one place. Then you need to go to our Nevada Box account, which was sent to everybody on, I believe, September 24th. The address to the URL to the Nevada Box account is here, and that's basically just a box where we have files that you can use. There are 4 files. You'll need a code book for either grades 8 through 12 or grades 4 through 7. And then you'll need the Excel file, which is the data. It says grades 8 through 12 data, and then it's got county. So you'll need 2 of those, 1 of each. So for the code book, what we need to do is we need to tell the computer what the responses were. And in order to do that, we just get some codes that we give that we give into the computer. So for every answer, we'll just put in a number. So in general, the questions, the more positive the number, the bigger the answer. So if it's just a 2-point scale, then yes will be 2 and no will be 1. There's only one exception on both surveys, and that is the Hispanic or Latino question. And that for yes is just a 1, and for 2 is a no. And that will be marked on that code. We'll go through that here in a second. The demographic questions are usually coded starting with 1. So, if it just asks what county you're in, the counties are listed alphabetically, and the first county is 1, the second one is 2, so on and so forth. The only exception to that is age, and you just type in the number. If they say they're 11, you type in 11. And then the only exception to this is if respondents marked they are not in 4-H, and I think that's one of the first questions on the survey, that code is 999. So just ask how many years you've been in 4-H. If you're in doubt, check the code book for the numbers to use in each question. I'm going to show you the code book here. Pull that up on the screen here. And I'm just going to run you through the code book. There is a piece here that tells you, it's a code book. Please don't copy it. It's got a big do not copy. This is just for your internal use. It's got these numbers. There's a program cover sheet, and it's going to ask you the name of the program. Just put whatever county 4-H program if you just did it generally, or if you took it to an after-school program, whatever, let us know. Delivery mode when was used, what delivery mode, and then you just choose, is this the club program? Is this an after-school environment? Is it something other like a camp or a day camp or something like that? If you do choose other, make sure that you're going to put, we'll get to that later. But you will put the name of the program. And then who entered this data set? That's your name, typing this stuff in. That way I can kind of know who did it. And again, it has these numbers. One thing I want to point out here, right here, is how many years of 4-H have you completed? The first answer, number 1, is less than 1 year. Then it goes on to 1 year, that's a 2. 2 years is a 3, so it gets a little confusing. There's a couple of questions like this, so I just ask you to pay attention. Again, the only thing you're going to use this code book for is just to get the numbers, just to to figure out what numbers you need to put in the Excel sheet. So we'll go to the Excel sheet next. Come back to the slideshow. Again, important, do not use the codebook as a survey. It is only for internal use. The survey titles. So if you want the file, the survey itself, that's titled Nevada 4-H Survey. These are titled grades 8 through 12 or grades 4 through 7 codebook. So I've tried to make that as clear as possible. For the Excel file, we'll go on to that. So what you want to do is make sure you have the right grade, because the two versions are a little different. Because everything that's in the grade 4 through 7 is also in the grade 8 through 12, I am going to use 8 through 12 as an example. But if you just have 4 through 7 surveys, just use the 4 through 7 files, because it gets confusing if you use the wrong. When you go to save the file, instead of, it says county, just put your county name in there, or if you need to put, if it's Clark County program, put Clark County something elementary school, if you need to do it that way. And then that way I know where it came from. And then just please keep the rest of the file name the same. I'm going to give you a step-by-step instruction, including how to read the responses. And then I'll just give you some explanation on how to get that to me. Again, if you just plan on taking the survey and doing what sounds like the easy way, just understand that it's going to be very similar. I'm going to give you some tips here, so just bear with me. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get a file that kind of looks like this, and it's really confusing. What's important to us is this number 2, so make it so the arrow is like that on row 2, and then I expand it so I can kind of read those responses. Make it all the way down here. I go up here to wrap text, and then they call it kind of at the top. Helps me to see it. A couple things you need to know. Again, you're going to go back to your codebook. You're going to find the numbers, but really the questions are here. What is the name of this program? And I'm just going to say State 4-H. And then what delivery mode, we'll say that was a club program, so I believe it's 2. So we'll go ahead and put a 2 there. Actually, you know what? It's going to be other. We'll make it a 6. So 6 is other. And then that way, I have another blank here. It says what delivery mode. That's for the other category. So if you have something to put in here, you can say this was the statewide. And then run. What I do is I just go in here and I just copy and paste it. And then I'll just paste it here. Paste. Paste, and then that way I just have it all right for me. Now we're going to start through, and I do have a survey here. So this particular person has completed 5 or more years of 4-H, so that's a number 6. And then starts asking questions. Is 4-H a place where adults care about you? The answer is yes on this one, so I put a 4. And I just kind of go through and just keep putting in numbers, coordinating with the answers. I wanted to show you a couple of things here while we were going through how to enter the data. This is where it doesn't matter what mode you're using. It'll be important to you to know this. So let's see here. Let's go back to, I'll just do a stop share. And I just want to show you that I have a survey here. And so these are the answers. And it may help you just when you're passing these out to have the kids just kind of fill in the blocks. That's the easiest way. That way you can read it. A lot of times, though, if they make a mistake and they don't have an eraser, like you've given them golf pencils or whatever, they might do things like this. Like they'll put, yes, oh, wait, I didn't mean for it to be yes. And then they'll X it out, and then they'll put not really, and they'll circle it, or they'll do something else. I really don't know that is what that child is doing. It could be partially erased. I never know. So if there are 2 answers on any given question, leave it blank. Just skip over it and move on. You'll get it a lot too with examples like this where the kids will put X's in there. And I don't know if you can see that real well, but what I've done is, and it's again a light, but if you look on that question 6, And 7, it's just X'd out and maybe even touching some other blocks. I can't really tell if it's the beginning of the check mark or the X crosses in that. You could take a guess, and that's okay, but sometimes, trust me, they get a little vague. Just go ahead and skip those. No need to guess on that. So just wanted to share that with you and make sure you understood that. Okay, so go back to our slideshow. So really what you just do is just go through and fill out that code book and get it all filled out. Once it's all filled out, you just move on to the next one. We'll do a quick save as here. And I'll just save it as grades 8 through 12 data instead of county. I'm just going to put in there 4-H. And I'll keep it where I keep it. Save. And then it's there. And then when I'm done, I just close out of it, and I'll have a file that I can then email to me. So back to our slideshow. So again, there's a place to email this. Now, if you choose to do this through the Qualtrics survey, I have just a couple of warnings for you. You follow the link to the survey. You just keep taking that survey over and over and over again. You don't have to learn the code book. You don't have to do the Excel file, which seems like a few more steps. But the thing I like about the Excel file is that it's pretty quick. It's not time consuming. It'll take me about 30 seconds to do per response, and then I just kind of click through it. It's the same screen. It's kind of mindless, but you can get through a large pile of paper pretty quickly. Now, if you don't have very many surveys, you only have like a handful or 10 surveys, then taking the Qualtrics survey 20 times is not that big a deal. It won't take that long, but it does take about 2 to 3 minutes by the time you've clicked through everything, especially if you do something like, oh, I'll just do it at home on my phone. It's going to be a little slower on the telephone, so just a heads up there, it will take some time. If you make a mistake, and usually when I make a mistake, I don't see it until later, and I go, oh my gosh, I think I made a mistake. With the Excel method, I can go back and check. I can look at that, but I can't check it on Qualtrics. Qualtrics gets the answers, and I'll never see them, so there's no way for me to check. If you are sure you made a mistake, you need to call me, and then I can go in and fix that. And then the only other thing is, if you're going to do this through the Qualtrics survey, I do need this data within 2 weeks of collection. And when you have a big pile of stuff on your desk, I understand it takes some time. If it's just easier for me to sit down, this is my time to enter this into the Excel file, I get it done and I move on. If I'm doing it through the Qualtrics survey, it's a more time intense process. So I'm not a huge fan, but if you do choose to do it that way, just keep these things in mind. And that's all I have for you. If you have any questions for me, you may give me a call. Give me an email at this email address, and then we can chat through it. Easiest way, if you need me to call you, is because I don't have a desk phone here in the office, so I could just call you. And that's all I have. Thank you so much. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing your responses.